like trig problems, well, A, we know that they're going to be trig problems because it's what we're learning today, right? But whenever you see any word problem, you can use this like cubing chart in order to figure it out. So, and also, another thing is I want you guys to cube all of the problems. So like circle the math numbers, like circle the numbers, underline math words, all of that stuff. And you guys will get credit on that, especially like on your exit ticket. Even if you're getting like super lost with the trig stuff, you're going to get credit for drawing the picture and for cubing the problem. Because that's super important in these problems. You need to draw it to try to figure out what you're trying to solve. And you also need to cube it. So we're going to start problems with that. Okay, so we're going to start with this guided practice problem. It's right here. This one already has a little picture for you. But can I have somebody read the question for us? Just read it out loud. Juan, could you read it for us, please? The guided practice problem. Thank you. Perfect. So that problem that Joanne just read, the first step that we're going to take, what does the C stand for on our cubing chart? Circle the numbers. Okay, so we're going to circle all the numbers. What are the numbers that you guys see on that problem? Just shout them out. What are the numbers? There's only like 2 of them. We've got 34, so you're going to circle it. Circle that 34. I should see you guys all like circling the 34. And then what was the other number? And Joanne says that we also have a 20 in there. So circle the 20. Okay, cool. What was that? Okay. Okay, so 34 and 20 should be circled. So what does the U stand for in the cubing chart? Yeah. Underline the math words. So what are the math words that we see in here? Angle. Angle. Sweet. We've got angle. Any other ones? This one doesn't have too many. Feet. Feet. Yeah, you can underline like feet. Especially because you know that that's what it's like being measured in, right? Okay, so we got that. We've got our numbers circled. We've got our math words underlined. And then our next step, what are we going to box? This is a really important part because this is what we're trying to find. What are we going to box now? Let's see, Terrion, can you tell us what are we going to box?
How far is the base of the ladder from you?
Awesome. We're going to box what we need to find, right? Which Terrion told us is how far is the base of the ladder from the building. So ultimately, like that's like our main goal of this problem, right? Like how far is it from our building? So we've got this problem cubed, and we've got our little picture, right? We've got our building. On the other problems, you guys are going to be drawing these pictures, and then we're going to be labeling them because we need to know what we're trying to figure out. Based on all those things that we circled, underlined, we know that the ladder makes a 34-degree angle with the ground, right? So right here, you guys are going to label, everyone should be labeling on your paper this 34-degree angle. Here's our ladder, got our building. And then the other number that we gave us, the 20 feet, what did that 20 feet represent?
Was it saying that the ladder is 20 feet long?
It's saying, let's see, let's read it again. And it is 20 feet long. It's saying the ladder makes a 34-degree angle with the ground, and it is 20 feet long. So the length of the actual ladder, right? Thanks, James. So the length of the ladder is 20 feet. So now, and we're trying to figure out, what was the part that we boxed earlier?
How far is the base of the ladder from the building?
Awesome. Thanks, Erica. So we're trying to find the length right here between, this is our ladder, the length between the ladder and the base of the building. This is our X right here. So ultimately, that's what we're trying to find. Now we're going to use our skills, like what we learned last period in Ms. Pervetti's class. We're going to try to figure out which ratio, which of these trig ratios of SOHCAHTOA can help us find out what X is. So 34 is our angle measurement, right? And we've got, let's try to figure this out. What can we do to find out what X is? We know we're going to use 34 as our angle because that's the angle that we're given, right? And we've got this length and this length. What is this length called? The one that's opposite of our right angle. That's our hypotenuse, right? So we're going to use one of them that has a hypotenuse in it. So we're not going to use this one. Tangents out. So using this angle, we've got our hypotenuse, and using this angle, what side is this?
Adjacent.
Our adjacent. So we've got our hypotenuse and our adjacent. Which trig ratio are we going to use?
Cosine.
Sweet. We're going to use our cosine, right? This one, that's exactly what we're going to use. Because we've got our adjacent side, we've got our hypotenuse, right? So, okay, so you guys are all, make sure you guys are writing this with me on your problem. This is our guided practice problem, right? So we've got cosine 34, because that's given to us. We're using that 34 as our main angle, right? Cosine 34. And now we're just setting it up just like exactly what it told us to do, right? So let's see, Evelyn, what's this ratio going to be? We have our adjacent over hypotenuse, right? So what is it going to be over here? Our adjacent over hypotenuse. Perfect, thanks, Evelyn. We've got x over 20. So ultimately what we're doing is we're just trying to figure out, we've got all this data on what the problem has. It tells us the height of the ladder. We're trying to find the distance. All we do is plug those numbers into our picture, and then we're just going to find out which trig ratio works best. Which trig ratio will help us figure it out. So we're going to treat this. Now we're just going to solve this like we would in a normal algebraic problem, right? So in order to get rid, this is being divided. We want to get x by itself, right? So what do we do to both sides in order to solve for x? We're not cross multiplying because there's not anything over here. There's not two sets of fractions. If there were two sets of fractions, that'd be a really good idea. We probably could cross multiply.
Would you multiply by 20?
We multiply by 20, and why would we do that, CK?
Because we divided by 20, we're trying to get x by itself.
Exactly. Because ultimately, right, like we do in all of our algebra problems, we're trying to get x by itself. So we're going to multiply by 20, so we can get rid of that. And then what's cool about this is your calculators figure this out really easily. So all you do is type this into your calculator. So everyone get your calculators out. You're going to put in 20 cosine 34. And then you're going to press enter. Do you need a calculator? So everyone, you should put 20 cosine 34 into your calculator. I should say that because the next one we're doing has that. Okay, so what did you guys get when you plugged this into your calculator? 16 point what? 16.58. Okay, so we've got 16.58, but since this is a word problem, it's important to know that it's not just x equals 16.58, because in these word problems, it actually is something. It's not just some random number that our calculator told us. So what was the part of this problem that we boxed? What does this number represent? The base of the ladder. And what is it measured in? Kenyon, can you tell me what is this measured in? It's 16.58 what? Feet. Perfect. So this is 16.58 feet. So if you were going to use this in a full sentence, we could say that the base of the ladder is 16.58 feet away from the building, right? Which is super cool because we were talking about at the beginning of class, you can use these trig ratios to figure out cool things like how tall a mountain is, or in astronomy, all those cool situations. So it's not just well, x equals 16.58, but you can actually take that number and say I really did figure out how far away this ladder is from the building based on these trig ratios.